subject of marriage.
There's a lot more to marriage than sex. Okay, go.
Seriously. There is, but for all you single people who think that once you get married, think that it's all about sex, you're gonna. Yeah.
If you don't have a good marriage, you probably won't have great sex.
You probably won't have any sex.
Yeah. At all.
Okay, first, these are all serious questions. How do we as wives and husbands fight for each other so that we can guard each other from being unfaithful?
First thing I would say right off the bat, where's your mind? For women especially, if you're on social media and your mind is already contemplating the physique of other men, it happens also at work, it happens socially, where you start to believe the fantasy that somebody else would be better than your husband. All those lies, they all start up here. What you do with those makes the big difference in the world.
I think for guys, where's your eyes at? Same thing that goes with women is like, man, I think this woman can treat me better. I think she can cook better. I think she can, I think she can enhance my pride better. Sometimes my wife just says these words that deflates my pride. My ego, which should be deflated every once in a while. But dang, every day is like, Lord Jesus, it's my thorn in my side. God, please, Jesus.
Am I that bad?
Just having a conversation with your wife that doesn't need to be had after you fail. It can be the hey, this is where my eyes have been. Help me. I confess to you, these are, this is where my heart was going. Here it is,
I think another thing for females, being able to be self-aware and realize when your heart is starting to drift towards another man and be able to cut it off. Part of defending your marriage is turning your heart back to your spouse and saying, these other lovers are groping at my emotions for attention, but I'm pulling myself away from them and I'm giving them to you over and over and over. And sometimes when things get really rough, you gotta do it multiple times a day. Mm-hmm. For me, it looks like texting my husband an emoji, I love you so much, you're the best husband in the world.
That encourages my heart. I go, what is that? Yeah. And it really does turn my heart back to her even more intensely. There's always a better guy out there for your wife. It's like, you know what? That guy probably has more financial wisdom than I do. That guy probably is a little bit more handsome. That guy has abs of steel that I probably won't obtain in this lifetime.
She's definitely prettier.
Yeah, she's definitely,
It's true.
Totally.
Yeah, but if you can figure this out in the sense that there's always going to be a better guy for your wife, but you are the husband, you are the best person right now in her life. Because all that emotion that's getting stirred up, the I hate you, the I love you, the man, what are we doing with our lives? All that is equity that you can't get with a fly-by-night relationship, because all they're going to show you is the good stuff. But guess what? Later on, if you guys decide to hook up, if you decide to be unfaithful with each other, guess what you guys are going to have to go through again?
What?
The I hate you, I love you, you guys are going to have to go through all that. And there's another best guy out there,
I think that what you believe in is what you create.
Yes.
And so if you're not going to believe in yourself, how can you become it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're already married, you're already in that together, you have to believe that you are the best for her.
Yes.
You'll become it. You'll never become it as long as you're looking at other people thinking that they're better for her.
Having clear boundaries is really important.
One of our boundaries is my wife will never become friends with guys, and I will never have best friends as girls. She makes all the friends with the women that comes into our life. I make all the friends with the guys that come into our lives.
And we interact with those people
together.
Here's another thing. Wallace has complete access to everything in my life. He can see my text messages. He can see my social media. He knows, and he should know everything that's going on in my life.
Yep.
And I have access to 100% of everything he's going through.
That's right.
We're like co-laborers in the Lord. So if he sees,
she has access to my history on the internet.
Yes.
It's true though, transparency, because I I mean, even you guys saying this, like, he has complete access. Same with us. He can see, I mean, he knows my passcodes, everything, because there's nothing to hide.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there could be, and probably maybe, some people who hear that and go, but that's mine. You know what I mean? That's my privacy.
Mm.
But in a marital context,
Yeah.
like, that type of privacy could be detrimental.
Oh, it's totally, it's where the enemy comes in with isolation, and it's where you start sectioning yourself away from your spouse. And I've noticed that it brings division, it brings shame. When we're together like that, we're fighting for one another.
Slay dragons. We
Together.
slay dragons
Yeah.
together. She can kill a tiger by herself. I can kill an elephant. But together we can kill dragons.
Because dragons are bigger
Yeah.
Yes.
in another world. Because I've seen those Komodo dragons. They're like, back to infidelity though,
Yes.
because would you agree that infidelity does not just happen overnight unless you're married to a complete d-bag?
Yes.
Seriously, there are some guys out there who are just complete jerks.
Yeah.
Who are
Yes.
just
D standing for
But-
despicable.
despicable bags.
Deplorable. Deplorable bags.
Despicable bags. I liked it earlier that you said that when you're trying to fight the pull, you'll text Wallace and be like,
Oh, yeah.
I love you, and Leslie therefore goes, oh, that was so
Yeah.
awesome. It turns your heart to each
Yeah.
other. So it's like the pouring into each other, the continual turning
Yes.
and
That's right.
affirming and being. I mean, what CJ was saying earlier about being that man,
Yeah.
being that woman for
Right.
them.
Well, if you think about it, when I pick up my phone, which is real, and I text my real husband, which is real,
My real husband.
my real husband, not the one you're dreaming about,
Yeah.
fantasizing
The
about.
guy that doesn't lift up the seat to pee. That's me, the real
guy.
husband.
What it's doing is pulling me out of fantasy. It's getting me grounded back to earth. Reality check. It works. You know, usually you can start a frenzy of intimacy through texting.
Yeah.
I know, we have a texting line that I know what emojis to put in that text feed to get it going.
Shabba dabba.
Shabba dabba, and we have it. But
Yeah.
we have this underlying intimacy all day long. He'll send me a few emojis, boom, boom, boom. I know what he's saying. I'm the only one who knows what he's saying.
And you don't get this from the grass is greener girl or guy
No.
on the other side,
No.
one night
No.
fling, whatever. You don't get that intimacy, that history, that like same thing with us. I mean, whoever's been in a relationship for X amount of years. Let's talk about keeping things spicy in marriage, because they get really.